Billy's a big Chelsea fan. I'm with Danny, incidentally, and Simon, as always, of course. Billy, good morning to you. What do you want to say about the sacking of Tuchel?
Good morning, gentlemen. I think it's an absolute disgrace. I've been a Chelsea fan 20 years. I've never, ever known anything like it. As what people are saying on Twitter, the circus continues at Chelsea. I think it's an absolute joke.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, actually. Unless there's something, I mean, Simon and I were hypothesising about whether something else has gone on behind the scenes or a conversation. We don't know. But if you're looking at it from a footballing perspective, I mean, this guy's got money in the bank. I mean, he's got new signings, some injuries. I'm with you wholeheartedly. I think it's a really, really knee-jerk reaction to a situation that didn't need to be. It didn't need to be overplayed. This didn't need to be
crystallised now.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand, Billy, is I have to push back on your observation. It's a circus because you have had a football club that was funded by one man for 19 years that brought you more trophies than anyone else has won. And the dynamics of football club ownership is people come in, they want people to be successful, they define what success is, and the moment that definition is breached, they change it to the next guy who goes and wins, and then when he breaches that definition, it goes to the next. Why is that a circus? You've won more things than anybody else.
Listen, we've spent 250 million, and they're sacking him after the transfer window. Whether you thought he should be on thin ice or not.
Well, these are either good signings, Billy, or they're not.
They are good signings, but obviously more's happened some behind the scenes.
To be fair, I think you're getting the brunt of previous callers from Simon, because I think a lot of people are frustrated saying, it's the same old, same old. And actually, I think Simon's point is valid in that the same old was bloody successful. But this particular scenario is just... It doesn't make sense from any level.
Well, doesn't it make sense? I mean, Billy, before you go, it was Thomas Tuchel's 100th match in charge of Chelsea. In his first 50 games, he conceded 24 goals. In his last 50, they've conceded 53.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
No. I think people who want to be playing us, say Thomas Tuchel's still there, people want to be coming to the bridge or going to face Chelsea now to score goals. Last season, the defence was brilliant. They could not score goals. Now they're going to be wanting to play us to try and score goals. Like Wesley Fofana last night. If that was Rudiger last night, he would have got him 100%. Sure. Wesley Fofana's come in, and it's like, I don't know.
Let's just give this some perspective, Jim, from a footballing point of view. When he came in, he had to shut up shop and get some results, and he did that and ended up winning the Champions League. And he was very pragmatic with the way he set his team up, very defensive. He had to try and evolve the team to become a bit more expansive and pleasing on the eye. That inevitably means, from a footballing point, you're always going to concede a few more goals. We haven't talked about the goals for tally there. I bet that's more. So he's trying to evolve the team whilst losing two centre-halves of that successful defensive unit. Aspilicueta near the end. Kante, I bet you this stat now, has not played the same amount in those 50 as he did in the 50 before. One of the best holding midfield players in the world. So let's give it a little bit of perspective.
But also, though, Danny, after spending 250 million in the window, can they go to Zagreb and lose? The Croatian champions, a woeful record in the competition. They won 5 of 43 games before they met Chelsea last night.
Yeah, you can. Of course you can. I know it's happened.
5 of 43.
They should never have lost. They had chances. They hit the post. They defended like their lives depending on it. It was a game that they played. They lost, but they've got loads of time.
And Tuchel said afterwards, I don't have an answer for it.
Well, what he actually said was there was a lack of determination, intensity. I didn't see that. I thought the intensity was good.
John Smith, a big Chelsea fan. I've been a Chelsea fan for 20 years. I've never seen anything like this. Well, John, I think you probably actually have. Cormac's a big Chelsea fan. Cormac, good morning.
Jim, how are you? Just calling from Dublin. Jim, I just want to start off by just thanking your excellent staff who are answering the phones. They really do a great job.
Thanks, Cormac.
I just want to say, Jim, I just want to say to you, the great Danny Murphy, and Mr. with the greatest will in the world, Simon Jordan, that there's an old expression which just goes, don't look in the mirror and call the mirror ugly, which is that the owners have something to blame for themselves in this, which is that I'm disgusted by the decision, but the owners need to take a bit of responsibility in this, because one of the biggest mistakes that they made since they came in was letting Petr Cech go, who was doing an excellent job as sporting director. And the fact that he left, I think, put way too much responsibility on Tuchel, because Petr Cech would have helped out with the transfer policy as well, a lot of the culture at the club. That's all putting that on Tuchel now. And Tuchel had that responsibility since Petr Cech, since the start of the summer. Now he's actually, he even had it up until today. So you're throwing even more responsibility at someone. It isn't working out 7 games in, and then you just let him go. I'm absolutely disgusted by the whole thing, to be honest with you. I don't even know what to think, because Simon is 100% right when he says this has always been the policy. I'd agree with you there, Simon, 100%.
Yeah.
But I think Simon, where this is different, is that Tuchel stayed very loyal to us when Chelsea was being sanctioned, and he stayed with us. And I think because he showed that loyalty to us, the club should have showed a new form of loyalty.
But Cormac, I have to push back on that, on 2 things. What loyalty did he show, and what effect did it have? The transfer windows were closed. Chelsea already had a massive playing squad that was already fully supplemented. What the background noise is what football managers will use as an excuse when results go the wrong way. But really and truly, all he was asked to do was carry on doing his job and make sure the team performed. Everything else off the pitch, really, unless you want to make it an excuse, is nothing to do with the football manager or the players. They're still getting paid. They were still getting an opportunity to perform. And giving football people an excuse is what they live for.
Simon, you know more. You can write on a beer mat what you don't know about football, and I mean that. I have so much respect for you, but Simon, I can't ventriloquize all the sentiments of Chelsea fans. I'm no spokesperson for Chelsea fans, but what I will just say is this: it was. Sorry that I'm repeating myself here, Simon, but given the fact that Tuchel had given that his responsibility was even doubled, tripled, it was actually the case that's the reason I'm so disgusted by it. And that, I think that's the reason why Chelsea fans are so disgusted by this.
Yeah, Cormac, what we do know, it's our understanding, Cormac, the decision to sack Tuchel was made before last night's game.
Oh, have we just found that out?
What does that tell you?
Well, I'm kind of shocked by that, to be honest with you. I didn't know he was so much in the hot seat. But Jim, come here to me. You're an absolute gentleman, so I don't want to be taking up too much time. I just want to leave you with this one question, right? Do you guys think? Because let's be realistic. Graham Potter is not going to take the job. That's just a fact.
Why wouldn't he?
Well, carry on your point anyway. We think he probably would, but go on.
Yeah, but do you guys think that, say if it's not Graham Potter, and I would think it highly unlikely, do you think apart from Poch there's anyone actually out there? And Simon, do you not think that if they were to go with Pochettino, do you not think that Pochettino is a downgrade of Tuchel?
I do. Absolutely, I do. Absolutely concur. But I didn't think the result yesterday was the reason why they took him out. I think there's an underlying problem. I don't know what it is or the reason for it, and I don't know whether it's an American wanting to flex his muscles and illustrate the way that the club's going to go forward. But there's something being wrong with Tuchel for about 6 to 8 weeks. He's been agitated. He's been out of character, and that may well give you more insight as to the bigger picture.
Cormac, listen, thanks for the call. Why would Poch be a downgrade on Tuchel?
Just because of what Tuchel's done compared to Poch, really.
Because he won 1 Champions League.
Who did?
Thomas Tuchel.
Did he?
He won it with Chelsea, of course.
Oh, sorry,
yeah, but we're talking about Pochettino.
Oh, sorry.
So why would Pochettino be a downgrade on
I think
Tuchel?
if you look at his record at PSG, in terms of his record,
and Dortmund,
it's far more compelling than Pochettino's. It's
kind of light for light.
It's
Simon.
really not. Look at the comparison of the results that he got at PSG in terms of getting into a Champions League final. Yes, he lost.
Yeah,
He won 4 titles or two doubles in France. Pochettino got in the door and did nothing but complain and agitate and index himself to jobs. Tuchel is in a different. Pochettino is a figment of the media's imagination. He did a lot of good work at Tottenham with a very good group of players, a once-in-a-generation group of players at Tottenham that had an opportunity to be far more successful. They choked in the Champions League final. They choked in the Premier League when they had an opportunity to go past Leicester.
Well, I think
I'm not a Pochettino admirer. I think he's a good manager, but if you want to be an elite football club, I do not think Pochettino is your answer.
No, I think Tuchel. I agree with you, but I think Pochettino has got his strengths. He has got his strengths.
Of course he has.
I mean,
of course he has.
Pochettino's biggest strengths was evolving Tottenham players who looked average into really high quality players by coaching them and working with them individually and collectively as a unit.
By your argument, Potter can't be the answer then.
I don't think he is. You didn't hear me say Potter was the answer. That's other people suggesting.
So
it.
who is?
I don't know.
If
right
you're
now.
bully today, who have you got at top of your list?
Well, I would have to have a think about that.
Postecoglou.
Well, that's a huge step again, isn't it? That's
Look at Jim's face. He's thinking, "Oh no."
But I wouldn't. But the question for me is, I wouldn't have been sacking Tuchel unless there was a really, really compelling reason that we're not aware of. Now we've just been told it's not because of the Zagreb result. I didn't think it was. Danny was sort of making a claim for.
No, I said if it was.
If it was, okay, then it's. But the bottom line is that they will have a plan in place.
Yeah.
They will have. They will have made their decision.
Well, they need to.
If it wasn't because of the result last night, then they've already got a plan in place, haven't they?
But why? If it wasn't, I mean, is this a good source, Jim? Obviously, you're not going to divulge.
Yes,
it,
indeed,
yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then it just. I don't understand how, if it's in your mind to get rid of a quality coach, that you on the last day of the window, which was it last Thursday or when,
signed Aubameyang.
you give him a striker on monstrous wages, who is going to be playing, or you think,
Yeah.
because of the manager's relationship with him, and you're thinking you're going to get rid of the manager.
We're overplaying that relationship, and they
you're just bringing in a striker.
The owners are saying, look, to the next guy coming in, if we get Aubameyang in, it fits the bill for Tuchel, and that's what the press will think it is about. Do you want him? And if they say, yeah, fine, it's an incidental signing, isn't it? It's not about Tuchel, it's about Chelsea signing Aubameyang.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, well, the fact of the matter is, it's done. It is done. The Chelsea board made the decision, and Tuchel has gone. If you're just joining us on talkSPORT this morning, I'm with Simon as always. Danny Murphy is with us. It's a seismic decision, but Chelsea have sacked Thomas Tuchel. Who is next? Graham Potter, it appears to be leading the way in terms of the replacement. That's according to many of the Chelsea fans, and I mean many of you who are getting in touch with the show this morning. We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. You can watch all this unfold as we bring you the breaking news and the developing news as to who may or may not be coming in next. But Tuchel has gone. The Chelsea hierarchy made the decision, and they are sticking to it. Thomas Tuchel sacked by Chelsea just as we came on air this morning. Next for Chelsea, a trip to Fulham, and of course it's live 12:30 Saturday on talkSPORT.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.